If you're after the perfect potato latke that is not loaded down with flour or matzo meal, then you've come to the right place. Perfectly crisp and simple to make, these potato pancakes use the potato's own starch to bind them together. And once they're fried, all that's missing is some sour cream or applesauce. And if you're new here, I'm Maggie. This is No Frills Kitchen, where I teach you how to cook with confidence with nothing fancy required.
To begin, you'll need to grate your potatoes. You can use a box grater and grate by hand, or use a food processor. I've done both, and the results are good either way. Make sure you're using potatoes with a high starch content. I use brush potatoes here in Australia, or you could use a russet potato in the US. Working in batches, you also need to squeeze the moisture from the potatoes. The easiest way to do this without breaking a sweat is to add the potato shreds to a cheesecloth or a clean tea towel. Loosely tie the corners of the cloth to a wooden spoon, and then twist the spoon to tighten the cloth around the potatoes and squeeze out all of the moisture. Make sure to collect this in a measuring jug or bowl. Then add the squeezed potato shreds to a large mixing bowl. Let the collected potato water sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. During this time, you'll notice some white starch gathering on the bottom of the jug. Once there is a thick layer collected, go ahead and pour off the water, leaving the white starch behind. While you're waiting for the starch to settle, go ahead and thinly slice an onion. Now, moving to the stovetop, add some oil to a large skillet. Use the same one you're going to cook your latkes in, and set it over medium heat. Once the oil is shimmering, add your onions and a generous pinch of salt. Cooking the onion ahead of time isn't necessarily traditional, but it does curb the moisture content and aid in a crispier latke once done. Cook the onions until they're softened and add them to the bowl with the potatoes. Now it's time to get everything else together. Scrape the potato starch out from the bottom of the jug and measure out a few tablespoons of it. You can find exact measurements in the recipe linked in the description below. If your potatoes haven't produced enough starch, go ahead and supplement it with a bit of store-bought potato starch. Or you can use cornstarch in a pinch, just note that they won't be suitable if you're making these for Passover if you do. My potatoes yielded plenty of starch, so no worries there. Now beat a couple of eggs and add them to the potatoes. Finally, season generously with salt. There is nothing worse than an under-seasoned potato. Stir until thoroughly combined, and now it's time to fry. Add some oil to a large skillet, I like using cast iron, and heat it over medium heat until it's shimmering. Compact a handful of the potato mixture and add it into the skillet, being careful not to overcrowd. Cook the potato pancakes until they're crisp and golden on one side, about 5 minutes, before flipping and cooking them for another 5 minutes on the other side. Repeat this with the rest of them. I think that they're best served hot with a generous dollop of sour cream or some applesauce, but they're also good at room temperature. The cooked latkes can also be frozen and reheated easily, so it's worth making the whole batch even if you're only feeding a few people. And if you liked this recipe, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss my next videos. Enjoy!